is we have to chazer about a blot in a half a night. A blot to blot in half a night. It's a lot, but it's not so much. But let's do as follows. Does the other want to chazer jointly or in chavrusas? How does the other want to do it? The other wants me to read. The other wants to go around the table reading. What do you want to do? Good. So let's go. Perfect. So you want me to start, and then we'll do that way. Fine. I was asking, do you want to do chavrusas? Do you want to do together? You want different people to read? How do you want to do chazara? A little bit of both.
I like it if we each do.
Beautiful. Take it away. Perfect. So, I'll do the easiest part, meaning I'll take the first blot. I'll knock it off in a few minutes, and then someone will pick it up. No, no one can take the first blot. First blot is too easy, and then we'll take it from there. But again, the first 10 blot, the plan is to knock these off quickly because these we know very well. Mamish. Like let's get these going, and then the last 5.
I have an issue with that.
There you go. So let's get there. Lulav HaGazul yavish pasol. Shalashir v'shalanidachas pasol. Niktam reishem. We remind yourselves again, a chazara is not just to read the words, but to actually get clarity. Shalom Reb Noyach. Niktam reisha, if the top is cut off. Nifr to olav, if the leaves are torn off. Nifr to olav, if the leaves are separated kosher. Rav Yehuda Omer yagdenu milmala, you tie it from the top. Sine har habarzel or kshiros. Lulav sheish v'shleisha tvachim kidei l'nanei boy is kosher. Says the Gemara, kapasik v'tani. From the Mishnah we learn loishna b'yantav rishon, loishna b'yantav sheni. Sounds like it's all the same din. So if it's all the same din, let's understand this. Bish lama yavesh hadar b'inan. Yavesh, I understand why it's possible all 8 days. Why? It has to be Yavesh, Valeka, Ela Gazol. I don't understand. Bishlam Yontav Rishon, Tichsev Lachem, Yishalachem, Ela B'Yontav Sheni, Amailoi. Yontav Sheni should be kosher to have a stolen lulav. Amar Rav Yechon, Misham Rashbi, Misham Nahavalei, Mitzvah, Haba, Ba'aveira, Shenemar. And I think I'll clear the Excel spreadsheet and we'll reshare it. So as we do Chazar, we could pound in the checks. I think it'll be, I don't know, I found it enjoyable to click that button.
I enjoy it.
It's kishmak, you know?
I like it.
I like it also. So let's do it. Shenemar, and also we get to do one tonight, you know? We get to keep ourselves going.
Crazy thing is, I was mom is thinking after doing this, I'm like, do I get like a count?
There you go. Shenemar, there you go. There you go. Nech is not a check guy. Nech is going to become a check guy. Shenemar, the Nisem,
not like,
Gazol, Vespiseach, Vesachila. Says the pasuk you bring a stolen, a lame, or a sick carbon. And from here we learn out Gazol Dami de Piseach, Mafiseach, if it's lame, Leslie Tekanta, Af Gazol, Leslie Tekanta. Loishna Lifnei Yish, Loishna Lachar Yish. So what does that mean? Bish, I understand why you can't bring a stolen carbon as a carbon. Why? Adam Kiakav Mikem Amar Achman of Lavdi was not yours. Elalachar Yosh. Hakani be Yosh Lachayr. You should be kind of with Yosh. So why can you not bring a stolen animal? Lav Nisham, Navle Mitzvah, Haba, Ba'aveira, and it's going to be the same din by us. And now we come along with a wonderful mashal. V'amar Rav Yechon, Misham Rashbi, May Techsev, Kinyan Chazarah, Yishpat, Saying Gazel Ba'ila. I am God that I love judgment and I hate stolen things when it comes to a carbon. He's going by the tax collectors. Amr says to servants, Amr Lai. Why? All the taxes are yours. Who? Amr Lahem, the king responds, everyone should learn from me. Afa Kadosh Baruch Hu Amar, and Yeshua Ma'aseh Ba'olam Mimeni Lamdiko Bini, and Vivruchu Atzman Min HaGazel. So this is where we learn the Makar famously of Mitzvah Haba Ba'avira. Itmar Nami, we learned as well. Amravami, Mamish, what we just said. Yavish is possible. Why is Yavish possible? There's no other. But Gazul is possible for a different reason. Mitzvah Haba Ba'avira. End of shtickle 1. So from the Mishnah we learn out there's a clear difference between Yavish and Gazul with regard to days 2 and onward. And says the Gemara, this whole shtickle Torah is what? Pliga de Rav Yitzchak. Why? And he argues. Shmuel holds a fascinating chiddush of Yontav Sheni Mitoich. Sheyatza b'shal, since you can be yotze with a borrowed lulav yatznami big Gazul. Period. Who wants to pick it up? Masif. No?
So it's okay to steal.
It's okay, well, okay to steal it, but you can use it as a lulav. Anyone want to pick it up, Masif? Anyone?
I'll go for it.
There you go. The Menachem David, Masif.
Must have not be Yitzchak. Lulav HaGazul Yavish Puzzle. Hashal. What about if it's borrowed? Kosher. Amos. When is the Mishnah talking about? Elim. We say beyond the Brisha. Naksiv L'chem Shalchem. Mahaylav Tadeu. But
So
it's
for,
not his.
meaning even a shawl.
Even a shal.
Good.
Elalav must be beyond the Shani. But Tani Gazul Puzzle. So how can you say Gazul is.
So say kasha on.
If.
Yeah, Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Nachmani Amar Shmuel, who said from day 2 and onward, Guzzle would be okay.
Would be okay.
Answers the Gemara.
Beyond the Brisha. V'laimi ba'i kamer. V'laimi ba'i Shaul lav today. We didn't. It was needless to say regarding Shaul because it's not his. It's not
Posh.
right? Pashat. Abel Gazul. Emes time Gazela Yush Bailam. You might say there's Yush when it comes to Gazela.
And
It would be
therefore-
like as if it's his, and it would be fine. Mashma.
No.
No.
That you're not Yotzei.
Why? Because Mitzvah Bavir. I'm assuming that's probably the answer.
Was the mitzvah bavavira?
Amlu Rapuna.
You have to miss the guy.
Correct. Correct. That's the chiddush. The chiddush is that it's still not called lachem. You might have permission, just not yours.
Unless we learn later
Oh.
about Matan.
Very nice. Let's do a matana manas la'achzir. That's how you can circumvent everything. Amar lu kapars.
Ravuna said to the Abankri, to the merchants, he's when you're going to buy your dasim from the Goyim, you shouldn't cut it yourself. Rather, you should let them cut it for you and then give it to you. My time, huh? Stam Stam Goyim, we assume that they're stealing karka. The karka eating gazelle, but you can't steal land. The hirka, therefore, the gazelle, you let the guy cut it. Because when they're gonna cut it, there's gonna be Yesh Bailam in their hands. Then
Good.
there's gonna be a changing of Rishus in your hands when they give it over.
And therefore, that's the
That
only
went down
way.
different steps.
Good.
Yesh Bailam, and then Shino Rishus in your hand. Saif. Just in the end, why don't you guys just let them cut it? Let the Makri, let the Makri
Cut it.
let the merchant. I'm sorry. Let the merchant cut it, not the goyim.
Why?
Because there'll be Yish Bailam in their hand.
And
It's just the other in the hands of something they sell it to. So here,
Good.
it's Yish Bailam. And when you give it over, it's
you have the same 2 steps. Why do you need to make
steps.
the
Why
guy
do you
cut
need
it?
the guy cut it?
Beautiful.
It would be okay to say that you can have the same 2 steps if you were going ahead and selling it to a merchant.
Beautiful.
But tzricha b'ashana debakri you can file, but you needed to say it when you're giving ashanas for yourself. And then all you have is yish bailim in your hands. You don't have a shina or shus. That couldn't be shina maisa. Why can't you be kined with shina maisa? You're right.
What's the change, Zakrashi?
Is the tying of the
Good. You buy it together. Bind it together, excuse me.
the cost of lulav ein tzarich aga.
The reason
is lulav you don't need tying.
And therefore, it's not called a Shine Maisa.
But emtim slami lulav tzarich aga. But if you do say that lulav does need tying, shina hefzel b'yasehu, a shinoi that's going to revert back to itself right away or soon or whatever, that it's not a real shinoi.
V'shine
It's not considered a shinoi. It's like temporary.
Could
It's
just
tying
like
on tying.
rip off a lease that we don't need to make it kosher.
Oh, what do you mean?
You know, nice.
No, it's very good. So what do you see? That Shine Maisa has to be something substantial. So we thought,
Ripping off a leaf is not.
no, you're not doing anything to the item.
We said okay. We said Chayzer Libriya.
No, so the Gemara is saying that we thought that binding it together, that there's no, it's the greatest change. It went from a lulav, hadas, and marav, as separate entities. Now it's together.
Chayzer Libriya.
Right.
So if I take the.
But that's not substantial kampe a lulav. What are you doing? Does a lulav care if it has 100 leaves or 99 leaves?
What's it to the original one? A lulav or a palm?
Well, that's what the Gemara tried to say, and the Gemara said it didn't work because it reverts back. Because it could untie it.
Oh, okay.
What change is happening when you rip off one leaf?
Meaning, let's go the other way. Let me tell you, what's a quintessential Shine Maisa?
Okay, so
It's still a
No,
kosher
no,
lulav.
I want to go the other way. A real Shine Maisa, in a normal case, is you steal a piece of wood and you build your house. I mean, you have to really change it. I'm not disagreeing with you that it would be called a change. The problem is in Hillside, changing items, that's really be. This is like the lowest level that we thought the halachic chab, that now it's called dalet minim. That's what the Gemara says. No. Frak the Gemara.
Shame. Say Mekara because the name changed. The Mekara Havale Asa, the Hashta Shana. In the beginning we called them Hada.
And now it's a shana.
Shana. Mekara Navila Shana Karle. In the beginning, Hadassah was called Sada, the Shana was called Hadassah. It's not really a Shinoi.
Beautiful. No one wants to pick it up. Tanarabanon. Anyone? Any takers? Suki Zula? Avi?
I got tons of translations here. How do you think I'm reading it the whole time? Do you see how many translations I got?
Suki Zula.
I had to do something about this at work. I wasn't even part of Kinyan during the thing. I had to learn it separately.
When you take the guy thrown out.
Meaning, we're trying to figure out what is the case of Mesachech Rishus Harabim. What is this case? You put Schav Shem.
You take a guy and throw him out.
Mom, you drag him out of the sukkah. You st-
It says, "Ain't on the other day, this is a United
your friend's sukkah. This is Mom's your friend's sukkah, so you're not Yotzi. That's what he says is Basel. That's one ruler. The Ikar can exelas.
stolen, then it's stolen sukkah, so you're not yet there.
Nachmal. The Inami Karkain exelas.
Surely, it's a bar sukkah.
And therefore, what's the problem? Rabbanan L'tei Mayu. That's according to the Rabbanan. So according to Rav Eliezer, comes out with 3 ways of learning why they say it's possible. You drag out your friend, and Karka and Nigzelas, but it's Sukkah Gzula. Or Karka's Nigzelas, and it's a Sukkah She'ula, which is also a problem. The Rabbanan say it's not a problem. Why? Because you could be Yaitz with your friend Sukkah. And Karka and Nigzelas. And it's not and Sukkah Shula, who said a Sukkah Shula is a Brahma according to the Chacham. Awful. Which would mean a Chiddush. I think this would be the way we would think the case is talking about. That you would think this is the Mamish, the old case of Mesach Shusarabim, that you stole something. But we're learning if you did that, it's kosher. You have to pay him back the value of the wood. But is the sukkah kosher? L'maisa, the sukkah is kosher. Imai, from where do we know this from? It's not yours. And since it's not yours, that's the reason why, according to Eliezer, you're not going to be Yotzei the mitzvah. End of Shtickle Torah. So it comes out that a Mesach of Shusarabim is not really what we thought it would be. Ahisafta, there was this lady.
Screaming.
The Ashwar of Nachman. Nachman's not listening. A lady that her father had Tlas Meya 300 Vitamni Sari Abdin 18 Avadim Savcha Kamaichu is screaming. I mean, she's basically saying, I'm a wealthy lady. How can you not listen to me?
Best answer.
Everyone
needs to answer.
There you go. I was about to say, all of us in public positions have to learn from this Gemara. Sometimes people scream, what do you got to say? She's a screamer, dove. Meaning, her whole scream is pointless. Which, by the way, you see something, Mom, is incredible here. She had a taina. She had a monetary taina. But, Lamaisa, they were yotzei, so stop screaming. Elamai, you want them to pay you back? Okay. Like, so come to the Rav and say, Rav, the Reish Klusa owes me a few $100 in Gavaldik. What are you screaming about? Stop screaming. So you see that
She wasn't even
even
saying it was her sukkah. She was just trying to.
yeah,
say, "Ah, you're saying it's
no, but he seems like Gavaldik is that even when she has a taina, still, what? She's I'm a screamer. Amar Ravina, here we go.
Maybe she held the mitzvah of there.
No, but that's the chiddush. The chiddush over here is that because it's just the wood,
Yeah,
it doesn't change the sukkah, right?
Well, they didn't teach women Gemara back then.
Amar Ravina, Haigshira Dimatalasa, Tigazula, Avdei Rabbana Taikanta. This stolen beam, says the Gemara, the Rabbanan made a takana.
Curtis Barish.
What is a takana? Mishum takanas marish, because the takana of a beam. What does that mean? This is, let's say you build this massive shul, and the guy finds out that our wonderful builder, by the way, that circle on the window, he stole it. So what do you have to do? Veheshiv is like Zayla, break it down. Break it down. You can't do that. So no one would ever want to return something that they stole. So takana's marish, they make a special takana that you're allowed to just pay the value. Says Gemara Pshita, Avada. Maishna me'etzim. How's this any case of what? So maybe you would think eitzim is shchichi, aval hay lo shchichi. Maybe this case is not a common case. Kamash b'la, and it's the same halacha. But continues the Gemara, and this is perfect. This ends the shikl right here. Hani mili begoy shiva is only within the 7 days of Yontif. Aval basar shiva, then hadar beini. After the 7 days of Sukkot, guess what? Break down your sukkah and return the beam. But let's say you built your sukkah, you built that pergola matziv, and you mamish put it together. You don't have to break it. You give back the value.